BMF Immortal, and it's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh wow!
Instead of it being from the, the actual hustler side or the aspirational side. Is the
I don't know what you're talking about.
right.
They ain't telling nobody. Because if you're telling, you can't even look forward to going home.
Okay, so 50 Cent blasted Lil Meech and posted video footage and evidence of him allegedly snitching on his security. The security, who ended up taking the fall for everything, said that he was asleep when Lil Meech threw everything in his life.
These in my bag.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact.
You know what I mean? That's right. You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He's been working for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Cooperate. So you can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork. If I was ratting, it'd be on CNN. If I, you know what I mean?
Everybody thought the beef was already out of control. The Instagram posts, the slick captions, the screenshots that felt like shots fired in broad daylight. But nobody was ready for this. Because just when fans believed the BMF drama couldn't get any uglier, a new headline dropped that made people stop scrolling and read twice. Big Meech suing 50 Cent. Not a rumor from the comments, not a shady blog whisper. A lawsuit tied to money, ownership, and what Big Meech says was taken from him behind his back.
It's not legal. Huh? It's not legal. What is it? It's not legal. Not legal what? To have a Bible.
And if that wasn't enough, 50 Cent didn't stay quiet. He clapped back in a way only 50 can, turning a legal fight into a public spectacle.
Oh. Good, man.
Hey, shot you in the yard, huh?
Yeah.
What y'all found about him? What y'all found?
This isn't just about a TV show anymore. This is about trust, about loyalty, about who really owns a story when that story comes from prison cells, blood ties, and years of silence. One man says his life story was used to build an empire without his fair share. The other says he gave everything and won't be bullied or rewritten out of the success. And now, the world is watching two powerful names collide in a battle that feels way deeper than paperwork. Because when money meets pride and history meets ego, things don't just break, they explode.
It's not legal.
Huh?
It's not legal.
What is it?
It's not legal
Not legal what?
to have a firearm.
I'm about to.
Huh? Talking about the other guy? Yeah.
That's illegal.
To understand how it even reached this point, you have to go back before the lawsuits, before the social media jabs, before the show ever aired on TV. Big Meech wasn't just a name. He was a legend in the streets long before Hollywood ever came calling. His story traveled through whispers, rap lyrics, and cautionary tales passed down from one generation to the next. Power, money, loyalty, and consequences. That was the BMF legacy long before cameras were involved. Then there's 50 Cent, a man who built his brand on survival, shot 9 times, blacklisted, counted out, and still managed to turn pain into profit again and again.
I swear to God, sir.
I know, but
Sir,
unfortunately,
sir.
there's certain procedures we have to follow
Okay,
anytime something comes in that's prohibited, correct?
Right. So listen,
You
sir.
understand that, correct?
Please give
Do
me
you
a
have your
chance.
ID on you?
Sir, my ID's in my bag.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not
Okay.
pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out
Please,
after
do.
the fact,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
But until then, I have to put you in handcuffs until we figure this out.
Okay.
Okay, you
Can I call-
understand that?
Can I call my mom or somebody?
We'll do that after.
Okay.
All right? Just turn around for me. Be cooperative. Everything's on video and audio surveillance. Plus, I'm on body cam. You understand that?
By the time 50 stepped into television, he wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was a boss, a producer, someone who knew how to package raw street stories into polished entertainment that could dominate networks. When the BMF series was announced, it felt like destiny, the streets meeting Hollywood. Big Meech's real-life rise and fall being brought to life with big budgets and big expectations. And at first, it looked like a win for everyone. The show blew up, ratings were strong. Lil Meech became a star overnight. The culture embraced it, and 50 took a victory lap, reminding everyone that once again he had another hit on his hands. But behind the scenes, things weren't as smooth as they looked on screen. Quiet frustrations started bubbling up. Conversations about money didn't sit right. Questions about ownership, percentages, and control started surfacing. And the biggest issue of all was this: who really owned BMF?
Man, do you have anything else on you at this point?
No, I promise I don't.
Okay.
Just an actor, sir.
No, I understand.
Man.
Do you have a concealed weapons permit or anything like
No,
that?
I don't, sir. They left that in my bag. My little brother's he was outside waiting for me, sir. I promise you, sir, that's not mine. I have security guards, sir. I'm an actor.
Okay.
See how much jewelry I have on me? I went to private school. I'm a good kid, man.
He's saying that he's an actor and he has private security guards.
Does he have security weapons permission?
No,
No,
sir.
he doesn't have a.
Listen, sir, I was going to tell you.
His ID and everything's supposedly in the bag.
Listen, sir, I want to tell you 1 second. I fly every week, sir. I have security guards, and we're rushing to the airport. I have a premiere. I'm an actor. That's why I have a big chain. Me and 50 Cent have a TV show. Sir, this will ruin my life.
Big Meech reportedly believed that this was his life story, his pain, his years, his losses. And from his point of view, that meant he deserved a real slice of the money. Not promises, not favors, not "we'll talk later." Real ownership, real control, real respect. But here's the twist. According to people close to the situation, 50 saw things completely differently. From his side, BMF the show didn't exist until he brought it to television. He put up the vision, the production, the connections, the risk. In his mind, he didn't steal anything. He built something from scratch using a story that was already public knowledge. And that difference in perspective is exactly where things went left. What nobody expected was for this tension to turn into a full-blown legal move. Reports began circulating that Big Meech had filed a lawsuit accusing 50 Cent of stealing BMF money and cutting him out of profits tied to the show and its brand. The claim wasn't just about dollars, it was about being pushed to the side while others cashed in on his name and history.
You can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork, if I was writing it to be on CNN, you know what I mean? You better believe it, my nigga. Yeah, it'd be on CNN. You got some people insinuate, Big Meech telling on the Mexican town. Look on Wikipedia, it'll tell you Daniel Correll out of LA, he telling on me. Shit, you know, the penitentiary rules is if you do not call a man hot or a rat or a snitch, or that he cooperating with the government without having paperwork to prove it. You know what I'm saying? If not, you get your bitch ass up top, you check in, or your car check you in. You know what I'm saying? You know, not supposed to send her, oh yeah, I think Big Meech hot. No, you don't think that. You show that, or you keep your opinion to yourself.
Fans were shocked. Some were confused. Others weren't surprised at all. Because if you've been watching closely, the signs were there. The passive-aggressive posts, the sudden shift in tone, the way 50 stopped speaking about Big Meech with respect and started throwing sharp words instead. Something had clearly snapped.
And when the lawsuit news hit, 50 did what he always does. He went straight to social media. Instead of staying quiet or letting lawyers speak, 50 clapped back publicly, mocking the idea that he owed Big Meech anything. He posted cryptic messages suggesting that people should read contracts before crying foul. He hinted that the lawsuit was desperate, and in classic 50 fashion, he made jokes that felt funny to some and disrespectful to others. But behind the jokes was something serious, because lawsuits aren't cheap, and nobody files one at this level unless they feel wronged.
He actually came and got me before I even knew I could even act at all, before acting was even a thought. My dad called me one day and told me that he wanted me to fly to Atlanta in his presence so I could meet 50 for the first time and see the first casting that he was doing. You know, so I flew out there and it was lined around the street. And the first time I met 50, you know, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, you know, sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it, I just didn't know if I could do it.
Big Meech's side reportedly argues that the BMF brand was used far beyond what was agreed upon. Merchandise, spin-offs, long-term deals. They claim promises were made that never materialized. And from behind prison walls, watching millions move around without your approval has to hit different, especially when that story is literally your life.
Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started hurting. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3, just for the pendant. Right here, this is Antarctica. This is the big boy. This is Christine called it Antarctica. This is the chandelier. I might have seen DJ Khaled with this song. It's that big boy,
How much is it gonna go?
$2 million.
On the other hand, 50's camp insists this is a money grab, that Big Meech benefited massively from the exposure, that Lil Meech's career was launched, that opportunities were created where none existed before, and according to them, trying to rewrite the deal after the success feels like betrayal. And here's where it gets messy, because this isn't just business partners fighting, this is personal.
Do you think Big Meech told on somebody to get out, snitched, did anything extra?
No. Let me tell you why. Big Meech's paperwork is public records. There is no proof that Big Meech said, hey, bust him, bust him, bust him. Now, the situation with the lady Tammy, the female that he cool with or whatever, mess with whatever, I was having an argument with somebody about this last night. Now, if we go by prison rules and standards, Big Meech didn't sit down with the agents and say, hey, my bro gonna go ahead and settle boy up for me, so make sure y'all give me the credit. So we couldn't make a move on him because his name not in the paperwork for saying, authorizing this. Now, what she did, what would happen, the killers, the homies would be like, well, listen, bro, she your people, she did that with your name on it, so you gotta have her hit. You gotta either have her killed, or you gotta bring a move to her because she implicated your name, or the people got your name, your BMF, whatever, in this situation. You gotta handle this. So I was telling him, I said, bro, this is one of them situations where he had a ride or die. She jumped on like, I'm gonna get him out here by any means. And I say now, we can't just up and say this. People be like, common sense, but man, did they have that talk? I don't know. So I don't think, I got my own situation, so I don't really think that far into nobody else's situation anyway, but I do my little content. Yeah. But if, you see, it's selective politics and it's selective who they gonna call a rat or who they not gonna call a rat in this industry. So we've been saying that since I've been home.
50 has repeatedly suggested that he went above and beyond for Big Meech's family, helping Lil Meech get green, putting him in position, protecting him from himself at times. In his mind, that makes the lawsuit feel ungrateful, like biting the hand that fed you. But from Big Meech's perspective, support doesn't cancel ownership, helping doesn't erase rights, and fame doesn't replace fair compensation. The drama spilled even deeper when fans started picking sides. Some accused 50 of exploiting street legends for profit. Others said Big Meech should be grateful his story was even told the way it was. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Old interviews resurfaced. Every caption became evidence. Every emoji was overanalyzed. And then came the silence. Big Meech couldn't speak freely. Prison rules apply. So most of what came from his side was filtered through statements, legal filings, and trusted voices. Meanwhile, 50 kept posting, laughing, trolling, acting unbothered. But here's the thing about lawsuits. They don't care about jokes. Behind closed doors, lawyers are combing through contracts line by line, emails, agreements, who signed what, who promised what, and whether the BMF brand was expanded legally or aggressively. Because if Big Meech can prove that money was generated beyond the agreed scope, this could get very uncomfortable.
The emotional weight of this situation is heavy. This isn't just two rich men arguing. This is a man in prison watching others profit off his past while he sits behind bars. And it's a producer who believes he earned everything through hustle and vision being accused of theft. Families are caught in the middle. Lil Meech, once seen as the bridge between both worlds, now feels stuck. His career is tied to 50, his blood is tied to Big Meech, and no matter how this ends, relationships have already been damaged. Trust has been shattered, respect has been tested, and the culture is left asking the same question over and over. When does telling a story turn into taking advantage of it? As the legal battle looms, the future of BMF hangs in the balance. Will the show survive this tension? Will new seasons feel different knowing the real-life drama behind them? Or will this lawsuit force everything to stop? 50 Cent says he's not backing down. Big Meech's camp says this is about justice, not revenge. And somewhere in the middle lies the truth, buried under contracts, egos, and years of complicated history. The saddest part of all is how something that once represented loyalty and brotherhood has now become another example of how money can divide even the strongest connections. BMF was built on loyalty, on family, on the idea that everyone eats together, and now that foundation is cracking in public. No matter who wins in court, something has already been lost. Because when your life becomes entertainment, you don't always control how the story ends. And as fans wait for the next update, one thing is clear: this isn't just a lawsuit, it's a warning, a reminder that behind every hit show, every viral moment, and every success story, there are real people with real feelings and real stakes. So the next time you watch BMF and see the lights, the money, and the power on screen, remember what's happening off camera, because sometimes the real drama isn't scripted, it's signed, filed, and waiting for a judge to decide who really owns the truth.